I've never been on such an unorganized show in my entire life.
It's never been more organized than it is in this particular
This is
episode.
organized chaos, everybody.
This is the ratio of organized to chaos is the very finest in this particular episode. That's right. It's Greasy Conversation. Welcome. Here we are once again, and above all else, I know you've come for the submarine of knowledge. Behold.
You need a female voice in there that goes, so greasy.
Yeah, submarine of knowledge.
So greasy.
And there is a bunch of fun stuff I have to talk to you about today.
Like where your guests are?
I know, right? Like where my co-host is, where my backup co-host is, where my like spare guest that I had just in case, where any of these people are. It's not even First Friday either. It's
did you give them the right address?
I promise I did. And no one has like even hit back. It's like that. It gets closer and closer to the show, and the response situation has become only more mysterious.
Right.
But I don't know if you guys have all seen this black hole simulation time. Have you seen this yet, Jay?
I have not.
So, trippy thing I noticed right away is it's the same as the black hole in Interstellar. And I found out, for those listening on the audio thing, we're looking at there's this black hole simulation that NASA just released, and everyone's talking about getting all mesmerized by it. And it looks like rings around a planet, but they like bend up in the back, Inception style. And if you've seen the movie Interstellar, it turns out like behind the scenes style, that was one of the first 3D visualizations of what a black hole might look like that they did based on the math. So even scientists, when they saw that rendering done for the movie, were like, whoa, this looks like the math in my head. And this math looks like a bendy, you know those things you used to step on and try to balance? And there was like a bouncy one, and it looked like a Saturn.
Yes.
It's like that when you've broken it. You've just broken the backside. I haven't been necessarily mesmerized, but I have been proud that this was something that was like in a movie by artists first that then like blew away the scientists. When science and math touch, I get all excited. So that's where things are beginning today. It's science and math touching. Two of the funniest math, you know, that radio math. That's when things get real wild and crazy with that math on this radio show. But real talk, if you want to follow along and go into the dive with us, there's a link at our website, woz.lol, or just Google Greasy Conversation. The link for this episode has a link to this Google Doc that I'm looking at right here. And you can dive in along with us. And speaking of math, there was another little math thing here. I'm not going to pull it up. You can click on the link and get in there if you're curious about it. But there is a controversy going on right now. A math controversy. Where there's certain theorems that are proofs that say like, oh, this proves that 2 + 2 is 4. This proves that 2 is a number and it's positive. Things like that. Some of these are really complicated and hard for one person to wrap their head around. So the original person that wrote it and wrapped their head around, people just trust it and do other math on top of it. But now we've got computers that can actually like check some of these proofs, and people are suspecting that some of them might be wrong, and some of our understanding that we've done like everything on top of might be wrong. And maybe that's where ghosts are hiding. Is this math that's wrong? Like, oh, we've got good enough math to make spaceships fly around other objects where you've got a little bit of leeway and rockets that can nudge things a little off if things were a little off. And we've gotten things like the Voyager probes out of the whole solar system after whizzing past multiple planets on their way out. So I think our math's pretty tight on that stuff. But now we're learning more about dark matter and the fact that there's stuff out there having gravity that's most of the stuff out there and we don't know what it is. Have you heard about WIMPs, like in science?
No.
Okay, check this out. These are weakly interacting massive particles. That's what WIMP stands for. And it's these particles, like a proton or a neutron, or these, a better analogy might be like a photon. Photons don't usually have a significant amount of mass. These things have a mass, but they just go right through everything. So because of that, they've been super hard to detect. We've had these giant like reservoirs of water underneath mountains so that these sensors in the water and in the mountain would have all this mountain and water in the way of anything hitting them and to try to get something to still hit them. The only thing we've gotten that I'm aware of so far is neutrinos, which are a type of WIMP. Correct me if I'm wrong. Argue me in the chats. Fight me. Fight my science. But they have been detected by detectors, and there's thousands of them streaming through us all the time, millions even, but they're super hard to detect, and none of the other WIMPs that are supposedly in the math have been detected. And my thought is if we've got this math controversy where there might be a 0 instead of a 1 somewhere deep in this thing that everyone just trusted, and there's this mystery particles in the math, maybe we'll find them if we get the math right, because that's what happened with the Higgs boson. You remember all that Higgs boson hype, but not a lot of people followed up on that about the real exciting part, and that's that it wasn't about that boson. That's like that as a particle is kind of like a coordinate on a grid. It's about that grid. It's about the Higgs field. So if you interact with the Higgs field, if it's like sticky to you, then you have mass. That's its whole deal. That's what's special about it. But it was like there in the math, like there should be this particle here. And not that I understand any of the math part of it, but I can get like, there's a particle that should be doing this thing to these things. So if we break these things apart, and that's all the collider did, is it literally smashed tiny things so we could look at what whizzed around. And in the graphics, you can see little dots that like spiraled around like chunks of wreckage in a like a Michael Bay movie. So we found it that way. That's the thing. That was
cool.
theorized. Maybe we'll find where the ghosts live. Somewhere in the dark matter. Similarly, speaking of which, World Ghost Radio Show. That's on. I recommend checking out the schedule page on radiovegas.rocks because all my favorite shows, I never remember when they're on. So the schedule page is like always up in my Chrome tabs.
For some reason, I do.
Yeah, you're good at that. When's Rocky on? Do you have that easy locate?
You mean the World Ghost Radio?
Yeah.
Wednesday nights at 10?
Wednesday nights at 10.
No, I told you it's 9 o'clock.
Wednesday nights at 9. So scribble that out because I know you're writing down what I'm saying in pen. If you're one of the pencil homies, you can erase it.
You do need to check out that show. That's awesome.
Yes. World Ghost Radio. You also do need to write down everything I'm saying in pen also. So, man, I can't stop thinking about the guest that you had on Rockin' Comedy Show yesterday. You're telling me a little bit. I'm not going to make you tell us, retell his whole story because you really should check out the recording at rockingcomedyshow.com.
Yeah, you really should hear him tell the story.
Yeah, he really should.
Yeah.
But he'd started out just a thing in Cairo as a comedian.
Right, yeah, he's a stand-up comic, pretty well known, Bill Dawes. And he did a tour for Laugh Factory, and they sent him over to like Cairo and Egypt, and he was over there, and he got into some trouble where they literally were going to kill him, and nobody spoke English except for him. So it's very hard to defend something you're being accused of when you don't know what it is you're being accused of.
Yeah, when you can't even speak the language.
Yeah, basically, they ruled one possibility is that he's a homosexual.
And this is from seeing him moon monuments.
They
went through
and they
his
thought
phone.
he was going to do that to the pyramids, which apparently is a big no.
Yeah.
You don't do anything to the pyramids.
Mooning the pyramids. What was the punishment for that?
Well, they were going to, because they thought he was a homosexual, on top of it, they were going to cut his ass off and let it bleed out until he died.
Which, Where's the sword they have around hanging? Like, oh, better grab the
Well-
ass-cutting sword.
Well, they took him to a room. He describes it in there. If you listen to, he describes this place as like a 5-story, solid concrete building where when you walk in, you immediately know people have been tortured and killed in there. It's right out of a movie.
So gnarly.
And there's like an echo when you talk, and it's just like they're not joking around. And he was met with the Muslim Brotherhood. Like, it was a series, 47 and a half hours of interrogation, no food, no water, no
so
sleep.
Gnarly.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't mess with the pyramids.
So if you go to rockandcomedyshow.com and download Ass Cut Off until you bleed out, you'll see that's the episode.
Recognizable episode title for the story. All that mayhem because there's a couple that humped on the pyramid at night.
And made a video of it and put it on YouTube. Yeah. You can check that out too. So they're apparently on guard of any white couples that are near the pyramids. And since they visited him that day, and he happened to be with a couple that was a white couple, he was looped into that. So
Oh my gosh.
there's so much to the story. So you got to download that episode. It's pretty awesome.
On that promotional note, let's pay some Bob Thorntons really quick. Stick around. We've got more coming up. This is Greasy Conversation.
If I were to get a hold of your smartphone there and somehow guess your passcode and open things up, of course, the first thing I would do would be to scroll through your photos. I want to see what's going on there. Then I would look through your history, just to get a better idea of who I'm dealing with. And then I would check your calendar to make sure you're planning on joining me live in Las Vegas for the first ever Host with the Most podcast live broadcast. I want to thank Jay and everybody at RadioVegas.rocks for helping me set this up. It's going to be a party, man, and it's happening at the Golden Tiki in Las Vegas. The Golden Tiki is located at 3939 Spring Mountain Road. If you've been there before, you know this is the perfect place. I'm going to have some of my special Vegas performer friends stopping by, prizes you can win, and I want you to hop on the microphone with me. Let's get to know each other. Let's make it a party. The Golden Tiki in Las Vegas, Thursday, October 3rd from 2 to 4 p.m., our first ever live broadcast with the Host with the Most podcast. It is common knowledge that Radio Vegas rocks, right? Of course it rocks. That's why you tune in all the time. Great music, great shows, great personalities. But did you also know that Radio Vegas rocks also turns you on to great books? Like my books, Life in the Bonus Round and The Host with the Most, Tales of a Tattooed Television Personality. I love sharing these stories with you here, these shows with you here on Radio Vegas.rocks. And I'd love for you to get to know more about me so that we can, in effect, know more about one another. My books are available on the merchandise page of my website, toddnewtononline.com. They are also available over on Amazon. Heck, they're even available in audiobook form. You can't beat it. I love the process of writing. I love the process of sharing and storytelling. That's what this show is all about. So please order your copy of Life in the Bonus Round or The Host with the Most today. 100% of the proceeds benefit charities. 100%. I don't keep a single penny. You and I, we're doing good things.
We are Naked City Pizza, serving the best pizza in the Las Vegas area. Built from day one to be the most authentic Buffalo pizzeria west of New York, Naked City Pizza Shop does it all from scratch. We make the dough, the sauce, the sausage, cheeses, dressings, every day from fresh ingredients for you. Come into Naked City Pizza Shop for that back-home feel and try our chicken wings, chicken finger subs, beef on weck, and don't forget the pizza and more. We are also about to show every Buffalo Bills and Sabres game right here at our shop. Come grab a bite. You will be impressed, not only with the food, but fast service and friendly staff as well. Give us a call or visit us online to learn more or view our menu.
That's the sound most people make when they leave Pinches Tacos. Why is that? Because Pinches Tacos prides themselves in making every location unique, but give every location the same feel. I'm not talking cookie cutters like those big chain restaurants. They blend into your neighborhood and create a place you want to call your second home. Their doors are always open. Well, at least until 11 o'clock. Their mission is simple. They provide you the best taco experience by using high quality meats and seafood, fresh garden vegetables, handmade tortillas, and high-quality artisan breads. They could have made it complicated, but they chose not to. Why? Because they found through experience that keeping things simple is a good recipe for success and happiness. It's also a good recipe for a pretty tasty pinches taco.
According to Spanish language Stack Exchange, we always use it as an insult enhancer and can turn almost any curse word into a really rude one. Pinche pendejo, pendeja equals asshole.
Now they have 6 locations, 2 right here in Las Vegas. Come in, find out why we love them so much. Check them out on Facebook or visit the website, pinchestacos.com, for a location nearest you.
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-709-4389.
ABS meeting.
Do you fear the dark? Do you fear the light? Are you afraid of what you've seen? Are you afraid of what you can't see?
What responses, you say you're testing it at the house, what responses did you get when you were testing it?
I mean, I've heard my full name, Chris's name, just direct replies to questions and stuff.
On World Ghost Radio, the paranormal, the spirits, the unexplainable, with your host Rocky on World Ghost Radio.
Be sure to get your mix of music. Listen to us with the RadioVegas.rocks app available at the App Store. And check out our VIP card, interact with us in our chat room, and scheduling of our RadioVegas.rocks shows, plus podcasts. It's all available on RadioVegas.rocks app.
I'm not saying that, like, ghosts are a thing or ghosts are this way or that way, but I am saying, what's that dark matter all about? What's that dark energy? What's living in the dark? Whatever. What's in these other dimensions that are supposedly mirrors of our own dimension had we made one choice differently? Anyhow, you're back. It's Greasy Conversation on RadioVegas.rocks. Welcome. Ooh, it's gurgly at the end. Yes. All right, welcome back. Before we dig in too far, I want to talk really quickly about one of our news correspondents, Ange Kerfoot. Shout out, because she is playing in, there's a play. It's called To Kill a Cop by Michael Monserio. It's the title of the play. I'm not encouraging that you just like do that. It's like To Kill a Mockingbird doesn't have like a lot of killing mockingbirds in it. It's complicated. Anyway, she plays a sex worker in this play. Check it out. Google it. And she's also been selected to compete for $10,000 on a cable TV game show adaptation of Clue. So if you haven't seen the cable TV version of Clue on your local cable time, you might see one of our news correspondents who also just released a music album with me. Look up Into the Whatever. You can find it at greasyconversation.com on the front page. Anyhow, we're back. Crazy J is helping us out right now from the Rocking Comedy Show. What's funny is if I just look at this video situation with you, audio listeners, bear with us a moment, but you'll see that we're framed really well, the two of us. Super happy with this framing. Even though 2 other people were planned, because I was going to have this sneaky dude over here, and I had it where you just see his hands, and you'd hear him, and it was going to be this mystery guest situation. and I just want to bask in how much time I put into these camera angles so that we'd have us.
He was here 6 hours early.
6 hours I spent wiggling these cameras, sitting down, bumping them with a broomstick, poking them, peeking over the top of the camera while holding my breath, and I breathed just a moment.
But I don't understand why you did that with your pants off.
Well, if I want to sense how my viewers are going to be watching this, yeah, I had to go into...
You wanted to feel liberated.
Yeah, I want to be like the droplets. I know you ain't wearing clothes. All y'all dropping it up.
I'm just going to start calling my listeners droplets.
Right? I'll share. Some people might be like, that's my thing. It's like a grease droplet. No, everyone could be a droplet.
It could be a pee droplet.
Yeah. It's funny. That's what yours is. You got pee droplets. I never think about the droplet status of...
I'm always thinking about the droplets.
I treasure each individual droplet. Anyhow, that's the sound of the judgment coming down upon Morgan Freeman right now. Are you up on the latest Morgan Freeman?
Then he looks like Jimi Hendrix?
I'm bringing it up as a controversy as if it's something that he did wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's Morgan Freeman gate.
It's not his fault.
Morgan Freeman is canceled for looking like Hendrix. But I think this is a little overblown. First of all,
I don't. There's very good similarities. Just take the nose, for instance.
Okay.
The nose is spot on.
Their nose is like the same width and height and protrudes from the face, I dare say, the same amount. Not only that, but if you look at the eyebrow situation, and audio folks, we're taking you with us. You're not missing anything on the camera because of our vivid descriptions. But the upper eyelid curves downward on the outer sides like a half dome on the ground, or like a bubble when viewed from the side. It's like a smiling type of eye, but it looks like an upside down smiley face. So both of them have these smiley eyes, yes, but man, you might think that the mouths are similar too, but that's where I see the biggest difference.
The real question is, can Morgan Freeman play guitar?
That's the thing. If we sneak one in his lap while he's drunk, I think it'll pop out of him. So when you see Jimi Hendrix smile and you see Morgan Freeman smile, Morgan Freeman, you can tell, is a lot more experienced smiling.
Well, he's been around longer.
Yeah, he's literally older.
Yeah.
The sides of the mouth go up higher on Morgan Freeman. They just don't lift as high on Jimi Hendrix because Jimi Hendrix's resting face is so droopy. He's got a drug mouth.
Well, see, he was a druggie, so that's,
So he has the mouth of someone that's not putting any effort into mouth muscles because of the on-drug situation. Where Morgan Freeman, his mouth is like under control in every picture. Even all these side-by-sides, the mouth gives it away. Because Jimi Hendrix, his mouth is just kind of like, like it's the sound of a mouth that's just falling down, just droopy. Whereas Morgan Freeman, he's been working that chomper. So the person that got me into guitar when I was a kid, which was he's
been working that chomper.
Working that chomper. Look at him. He's been blabbing her up, busting a blab there. Yeah, look, he's got all the tight. There's no flab in his lips. Like
he does a lot of narration.
Yeah, they have similar size lips. It appears genetically, but there's more muscle definition in not Hendrix.
I love that there's so many different pictures of him and Jimi Hendrix. One picture is all you need.
No, but there's so many.
There's so many.
Yeah, and honestly, to prepare for this episode, because I put in the effort to make this worth you recommending to your friends. Ooh, that was kind of aggressive. You recommend this show to your friends.
Those eyes, though.
Yeah. I don't think Hendrix... Well, we don't know. If we could age Hendrix electronically, he'd have a droopier mouth.
I'm sure you could.
Well, I looked into this. I looked at hundreds of these stupid pictures, you guys, for hours. I fell in a Hendrix and not Hendrix. I can't remember both their names at the same time.
Freeman.
Morgan Freeman.
Jimi Freeman.
Morgan Hendrix over here.
Morgan Hendrix.
And every picture, though, the mouth really shows it off. Oh, I was telling you about this dude he was like guitar dad of the neighborhood. He had sons just above and below my age that I hung out with, and I'd hang out with there, and he'd pull these guitars out from under the bed, and I found out that he was, among other things, a guitar tech for Jimi Hendrix. And he said that when Hendrix wasn't on stage, he'd be barely able to stay upright, that he was in another dimension of on drugs time before he'd hop on stage. And this fits with his mouth situation. Am I showing you guys this large enough? Get in here. Look deep into this.
Maybe that's what they're keeping at Area 51.
Jimi Hendrix's flabby mouth.
The fact that they're really the same person.
Yeah, there's records. There's documents there. If we get in there, we'll find the one file cabinet that has the birth records. Real talk, though, if you're like thinking that you've got a fresh rabbit hole in here, there's some issues. You probably know already. Freeman started his acting career as an extra 5 years before Jimi Hendrix ever made his first public appearance.
So they say.
Yeah. He could have been shuttled around. There were airplanes.
Yeah.
Hendrix broke in England. If you folks aren't aware, he couldn't be recognized scratch in his homeland. His label flew him over to get recognized across the pond. He blew up there first, and then came to America as like a British invasion kind of artist, even though he was from
was the last performer at Woodstock, and nobody watched him play.
No, it's so legendary to this day, but it was like a footnote of the event before.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this will be good for the ending credits. This dude, this forgettable fella. Not only that, his only charting hit whatsoever was All Along the Watchtower, which is a Bob Dylan cover.
Yeah.
So Jimi Hendrix is a one-hit wonder, technically. None of his hits were appreciated in their time as much. He was like a cult following dude.
Yeah.
So that was an interesting dive. Thank you. Let's get back in the submarine. Ooh, it's slicey. The edges are sharp on the submarine. Watch out. Watch your fingers. So now Greg, although he's not here, continued the journalism. Did you hear about this Florida teen, of course, that allegedly stole her parents' debit card to fund a murder-for-hire plot against them?
No, I didn't hear about that.
As if they're not going to see that on the statement and be like, well, hey, it looks like there's a...
Well, I'm sure the hitman's like going to code it. It's not just going to say hitman.
It's going to say like pharmacy or something.
Yeah.
Well, if you were a hitman, how would you justify this bill, like in your billing? Like, how would it appear on someone's credit card statement?
If I was the hitman?
Yeah, how would you do that?
Oh, I would like maybe come up with a name like, Final Destination. It'll come up on your credit card statement as Final Destination.
That's perfect. Event planning.
Yeah.
Oh, that's perfect.
I'm certainly, maybe something clever. They'll think it's funny, like murder for hire.
That's totally obscure. No one would believe it. Like, what's this murder for hire on here?
Oh, it's a dinner show.
The worst is if the scheduling is so bad that it shows up on the credit card statement before it's accomplished. It's like, what's the point of this? You're gonna be a big old
Why'd you take the money out while they're still alive?
Oh, man. Doesn't she look like that person in high school?
She looks like somebody that lives in Florida.
Yeah. And murders.
And has a meth problem.
Yeah, it's sneaking in. Even if this kid... There's some meth in the woodpile somewhere.
If we keep reading, bag of meth is going to be in there.
Watch. We're going to do a Control F right here. So I didn't find it on this particular article, but we'll dive deeper. It's one of Greg's articles, so you know that's going to be that's going to be a layer. Anyhow, Holla in the
Mom, Dad, I want to tell you how much I love you. Can I borrow the credit card? I want to get you a gift. Well, sure, honey.
It just occurred to me to wonder how she got found out.
What do you get your parents that have everything? A murder.
That's the best tag on that. Oh man, how did they? Okay, debit card money withdrew the two different. Man, kudos to those parents. She's got to have a history. Here's the thing. I don't think that I would catch it in time. I think it would be on my statement, and I'd be like, what's that? That's funny. I'll call later. And weeks would go by, and I'd be super murdered. My kids would murder me for sure.
They were like, the clues were there. How did he not see it? There's a receipt here for a hardware store.
Yeah.
A rope. Shovel.
Oh, man. Ange was saying, I just remember this is actually one of her articles. There's several great ones in here too, but Ange was saying this is why we're not having kids, just specifically so they don't murder us. Because we're so sure our genes are like
well, your friends can
like
murder
that.
you too.
Yeah. But I feel like there's that kind of internal masochism that our offspring would murder us.
You can be murdered without being related to the person.
Yeah, that's the way to do it though. Ooh, did the dogs detect? Nah. I thought the dogs detected someone, but I think it was just...
I think your mystery guest is going to remain a mystery.
Forever. Mystery forever. Oh, and my mystery co-host, backup co-host time. So you're all the backup co-host I need, Jay.
Aw.
You never let me down on radio times.
I'm so easy to get a hold of here at Radio Vegas.
Yeah. Oh, man. This needs one of those movies, though. I really need to know. Oh, in June, she posted a picture of herself with the caption, "Ruthless."
Where's the bag of meth?
Oh, man. Ruthless. All right, we saw the black whole time. Oh, check it out. So imagine you're at Disneyland. You decide to take LSD.
Oh, yes. I know this story.
Also, you're in Paris. It's Disneyland Paris, by the way, for what that's worth. And unlike if I were to get lost at the Disneyland in Anaheim, this person had a search party happen. Because I'm pretty sure...
Well, Euro Disney's a little bigger than Disneyland.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Disneyland's small compared to the other lands.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's just a little
Because
chunk.
he didn't buy up the land around it like he did all the others.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
So, I'm just saying, Anaheim, harder to get lost in. But in Paris, oh my gosh, the Register. So shout out to the Register for popping up stuff. But I don't think you've got not much to look at here. Dude tripped. 100-something people found him naked. And I'm sure his friends and family were happy to find him, but I'm sure he was pretty embarrassed to just get discovered sloshing along in the Adventureland swamp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, hey, everybody. What's all the hubbub about? Oh, man.
If you're going to do LSD for the first time, Disneyland's probably not the place.
No, not
The
first.
big characters walking around with their big heads and all the colorful things you're going to see. It's just...
There's so many people that are afraid to do a hallucinogen because they're like, what if I have a bad trip? How do I make sure I'm not going to have a bad trip? This is how...
That's why you do it at home. Yes. You experiment at home.
This would have been a bad trip without the LSD if you just did the same actions.
Yeah.
So just don't take yourself on a bad trip.
We had a guy, we used to do these trips out in the Barstow Desert. We called them Desert Fest. We used to have bands play and all this stuff. And it went on for years. We did like 14 years of them. And one night, a brother of one of the guys that always went there decided he was going to do shrooms for the first time.
On this
yeah.
Where everything else is weird. Let's add one more weird.
Right. You know, people just usually just drank and smoked pot and stuff. And the rest was, here and there. So he decided he was gonna do shrooms. He's never done drugs in his life, but he decided this was the night. This is it.
I've never driven a car before, so I'm going to start with a monster truck.
Right.
I'm just going to try that first.
And it's going to be a stick shift.
Yeah.
And it started at like 1 o'clock. So it kicks in at like 1 o'clock in the morning. We're all like in our tents. We're trying to go to sleep. And all of a sudden, in the distance, we hear animal noises. Oh. And we're like, is that a cow? And we're like, Bruce, go to bed. And then he would do other, and we're like, stop doing animal noises. And then he went into like the trumpet. And we're like, oh my God. Finally, it gets silent. But then, like, about 2 hours later, we hear, help, help. He's like, it's hot. I'm burning. It's hot. We're like, Bruce, shut up. Like, it's in the middle of the desert. There's nobody around. It's pitch black. And everybody can hear, ow, it hurts. Come to find out, the brother of Bruce gets out to go see what's wrong, and he starts yelling, everybody, we need help, everybody. And we're like, oh my God, something horrible has happened. He was so messed up on these mushrooms, he had fallen and rolled into the fire that was just red hot ash, and he was literally burning.
Oh no!
He burnt half of his body.
Oh my
From
gosh!
neck down, and his clothes were all on fire. They had to airlift him out by helicopter.
And meanwhile, you guys were like, "Shut up, man!"
Because all night he was doing animal noises. He was like, there was a cougar. We're like, there's no cougars out here, and so they had to airlift him to the Barstow emergency hospital, and he was literally on fire. Like he was burning. And yeah, it was awful. And it was like, this is why you don't experiment with drugs out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You just don't do it.
Set and setting, people.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing I've ever known.
Did he end up like scarred up and stuff?
Yeah, he did skin grafts, weeks and months of skin grafts. And I saw him a couple years ago, and he doesn't look as bad as he did, but you can tell he got messed up. And he's never drank since then. He's stopped smoking pot, and he's never done another drug.
I can tell you he did too much, for sure.
Oh, absolutely. I'm sure he did. But, I was just like, wow. And nobody believed, like, it was really bad because everybody just thought he was messing around again. And we're like, he was literally so out of it and couldn't move that he was just, ow, it hurts, I'm burning. It was like, he was so calm and mellow. Like, it was just like, wow. So yeah, that was a crazy time. So, if you're going to do that stuff and never done it before, do it at home.
Get a spotter.
Lock yourself in your room. You're safe in there.
You gotta have a shaman with a hallucinogen. You gotta have a buddy that's done it before.
Not a naked Indian walking through the desert giving you peyote.
I mean, if you can afford it.
Not your first time. Not your first time.
Oh man, I have the worst peyote story. Like literally the worst. Seriously challenge me for a worst peyote story. I don't mean worse like worse stuff happened. It's worse than that. I spent money on 5 little peyote buttons. They come in buttoned. So I had these little buttons, and the person was like, I don't know. They're not the freshest. I don't know how potent they are. And I have never seen like a real peyote button. So for all I know, these were like little stumps or little fuzzy, gross mushroom things. Because they were gross looking, and each one tasted grosser than the previous. But after hours, 7-8 hours, nothing happened except that it tasted gross in my mouth. Not even like a tinge of kind of this was something. And he was like, oh, they sat on my dashboard for a while or something. I think I was seriously sold like a chunk of a yucca or like a piece of Joshua tree or something. So, and then that's it. It's like the most.
So nothing happened.
Yeah, it's the worst thing. I wasted money. I tasted gross things, and I didn't even get to be a phoenix.
I've seen you eat gross things, so it's.
But I'm not the eat gross things guy. There's just certain rare situations. It's usually been something painful in order to get headphones. Not these though. Thanks, Kicker. Kicker didn't put us through, make us eat anything gross. Kicker studio, y'all. If you want fancy headphones like either of us, real plug, real shout out, Kicker. I've got the Tabor model. I don't remember the name of that model, but they're very much like Beats with the metal situation where it's a machine made the metal nicely machined.
Sure.
Yeah. So if you like headphones that have that cool metal situation, These block things well. These have been cozy in the airplane. Anyway, headphone it up. Kick it. Get kicking. Kick things. So, moving on. Other news items. That's right. So, apparently, scientists now are saying not just people that theologianize, but actual science folk. They're saying your mind isn't confined to your brain or even your body. It's not something that lives in your body or it's just its own thing. It's this combo of the two, and yet neither. And the way that it got put the best is that it's like a shoreline. I know it sounds like I'm just diving right into something kind of halfway from the side, but there's a sick article about how the mind is a shoreline, and I think it kind of is behind the way people tend to function differently and then not understand people that function differently from themselves but are still functional. And I've been saying for a long time that in the forces that pull human beings either to the right or to the left, whatever the right and left means to how you're categorizing it, these polarizing things are kind of like what polarizes our own internal arguments. So we fight with ourselves internally. There's things that we get as emotions and feelings, and there's not a single person that doesn't have like an inner dialogue that battles with things like that. And this coastline gets described awesomely in this article. You gotta check it out. I'm just gonna read like a chunk of it that I think is like a metaphor for like right versus left politically even. So this dude says, his name is Seagull in the article, not like seagull like on the coastline that's like caw, eats your French fries.
Livingston Seagull?
Yeah, it's like that kind of seagull. It's not the French fry eating kind. It's like the Bugsy kind. Anyway, in math, complex systems are self-organizing, and Siegel believes this idea is the foundation to mental health. Math up in there again. I'm not talking like writing down formulas and stuff. This is math someone else can do for you, and you can just reap the mathy benefits. Again, borrowing from the mathematics, optimal self-organization is flexible, adaptive, coherent, energized, and stable. This means that without optimal self-organization, you arrive at either chaos or rigidity. And that thing blows my mind, because I thought, there's a force in life. Everything that's a living thing tries to organize matter, tries to organize molecules, and make offspring and perpetuate information in the form of this offspring. Like we perpetuate information on how to succeed as people. Other animals perpetuate their animal skills and the information of their genes, and it's all organization. And I thought the opposite of that, the force working against that, was entropy, to where everything just tends to dissolve and get disorganized, and your office gets messy, and stars decay, and everything decays into entropy without this like life force of organization that living things do. But according to this, that chaos, that disorganization that is entropy, is only one of two things that things can descend into. The other is rigidity. The other is this extreme level of organization that there's no fun anymore. There's no surprises. There's no unexpected happy accidents. There's none of that. And that also fits with the fact that successful life forms tend to have a certain amount of mutation that's allowed. Like people are supposed to have mutations, and offspring are supposed to have differences from one another so that they're pitted against each other. And that's like this happy balance that we should search for and enjoy politically too, is my metaphor on top of it. Otherwise, you get this either a stereotypically Republican, too rigid, oh, those people aren't fun, or this chaos of these people are irresponsible and they allow too much, they don't have enough order for things to be safe and reliable. And there's an argument on either side of most issues that's valuable. But even when it comes down to like molecules or math or suns and galaxies or even just people's politics, it's a lesson in balance. 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 So that's your takeaway so far. Tell your friends. We're not over yet. We've got another hour coming up, but now we're going to pay some S. Preston Esquires, going to pay some Bob Thorntons, and let you just stew around on that for a little bit. Just stew.
Kicker Audio.
So check it out, Mario. They hit me up, the guys from Kicker. They said, Jay, you have done a fantastic job promoting these headphones. And
they're awesome.
They're all over Facebook. You have tweeted them. We know that you love the headphones. But how come you haven't talked about this wireless Bluetooth bullfrog we have? And I said, well, to be honest with you, you never sent me one.
We haven't tested it.
Within 24 hours, there was one delivered to my house. So now, this is going to blow your mind, Mario. This is... You're impressed. No dead space. Speakers on both sides. Isn't that awesome?
Very impressed.
Kicker Audio, everybody. You got to go there. Check them out online.
Kicker Audio. Living loud.
At Albo Pizza, our mission is to bring a menu of savory Italian classics and tasty American fare to the city of Las Vegas. Combining a classic menu of Italian favorites and American fare, Albo Pizza was designed with a variety of palates in mind. United by fresh ingredients prepared daily, all our recipes are homemade, hand-tossed, and hard to resist. Explore their popular pizza offerings or branch out with our burgers and chicken wings. Whichever way you go, their menu is prepared to please. Located at 1510 South Las Vegas Boulevard next to Dino's. Visit them online at www.albopizzalv.com or find them on Facebook. For delivery, call 702-333-2526.
Hey, Radio Vegas Rocks listeners, it's your favorite troublemaker, Sober Sal from the Not Playing Stupid podcast. I'm headed to Summer Meltdown this weekend to partay. And do you think this degenerate has time to sober up or take a shower to that 4-day music festival? No, ain't gonna happen. The cool thing's out on YouTube. I got Dude Wipes. Dude Wipes aren't your typical ass wipes. Dude Wipes are made from plant-based fibers and are actually certified as flushable. Not only are Dude Wipes alcohol fragrance-free, they're also lined with aloe and vitamin E to ensure your anus isn't so heinous. So go to dudeproducts.com and use checkout code SHARTWEEK and you can receive additional 15% off your entire order. Someone has to take care of your ass. It might as well be you.
Come on, dude, take it to the hole.
What is Jesse Ray's Barbecue? Well, it's a tiny, unassuming place with a modest menu of platters, sandwiches, and house-made sauces. Located at 5611 South Valley View, by the smell alone, you're gonna know you're in the right place. Come try the award-winning slow-smoked ribs, chicken, pulled pork, hot links, and brisket. The sauce is also something to talk about, as you will want to eat it with every bite. Here's a tip. Their sauces are available for purchase. When people ask you, how do you like Jesse Ray's Barbecue? You'll say, like most people I know, I don't like it, I love it. Jesse Ray's Barbecue is 100% legit. Stop on by for a meal that will satisfy your barbecue-loving lips. Mention RadioVegas.rocks for 10% off your order. Jesse Ray's, located at 5611 South Valley View on the corner of Valley View and Russell. Come in, take a bite, find out why they're so award-winning.
This is an urgent health notice for all residents suffering from back, neck, knee, and wrist pain. You may qualify for a pain-relieving brace at little or no cost to you, but the deadline is fast approaching. Simply call the Health Alert Hotline now.
You heard right. You may qualify for a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace. These items may even be covered by Medicare or your private insurance. The Health Alert Hotline is your brace company. These specialized braces have been tested for pain relief. Call us toll-free right now to determine your eligibility and to learn how to use your private insurance or Medicare to minimize your out-of-pocket cost. Don't wait. If the deadline passes, you may lose your opportunity to get a pain-relieving back, neck, knee, or wrist brace at little or no cost to you.
800-238-4840. 800-238-4840. 800-238-4840. That's 800-238-4840.
I love it. It's time for Two Clueless Dudes.
We were on like a little bus going to Disneyland Paris, and this guy, whose name is Mark, we discover, is sitting in front of us. We're right directly behind him and his wife. And then all of a sudden his wife starts hitting him on the chest, I was like, Mark, quick, somebody help him. He's like foaming from the mouth. He's got like stuff coming out of his mouth and he's turning purple. So I have to scooch in front of my wife, lean over his chair, and then so I give him the hiney lick, and then like a second later and he starts breathing. Never once did him, his wife, or his kids turn to me and say thank you.
No way.
Two clueless dudes.
Every Friday at 7 p.m. on RadioVegas.rocks.
That's right. You can also check out Two Clueless Dudes. Just going to twocluelessdudes.com and checking out some past episodes. I highly recommend it. But right now, this is Greasy Conversation on RadioVegas.rocks.
So mysterious.
So Jay found this picture where Rosie O'Donnell and Tom Cruise look creepily the same.
I just sent it to you on your messenger.
Oh, man. I don't have my messenger pulled up on this computer. You got to take my word for it. Some of these celebs aren't the same celeb.
Okay.
Oh, God. Excuse me.
Can they see that?
I'll make it lookable. So let's pause a moment. Take a look at this. Radio listeners, basically what's going on is, it's Tom Cruise and also
Rosie O'Donnell
looking like the same person. There you go. This one's for you. And
you didn't leave it there long enough for them to.
Oh, okay. Coming at you to get the focus. All right. Gotta share and grow and learn and share and learn and grow. And check out this suction robot. Oh, what up, Michael Duber? Hey, Jay. What up in the chat? Oh, this is Greasy Conversation, and I have to tell you, if you're beholding on my Facebook profile or the Greasy Conversation YouTube, those streams, I goofed on getting them going the first half of the show, but you can still see the first half of the show on Jay Bird's Facebook, or if you just go to YouTube and find Radio Vegas Rocks, all one word. It'd be a great time
we have
to have
Magician Tommy Wind watching us right now.
Magician Tommy, great to have you. Was it, I'm not familiar, is his last name?
Tommy Wind.
What a cool last
W-I-N-D.
Yeah.
Now at the new Not Hooters Hotel. What is it? O-Y-E? Is that what they're calling it now?
Yeah, it's a collection of letters that look handsome near each other.
Right.
That's how we
He's
name
got a
hotels
show
now.
there. I don't know if it started yet, but he's moving over there.
You can't miss it. It's behind the Hooters. It's just classied up.
It didn't move behind the Hooters. It is Hooters.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still called Hooters in the front of it. The
No.
restaurant's still there in the front, isn't it? Are they still just wearing orange in there and throwing me off? Yeah, I thought the restaurant time was still going on in front, but who knows?
Yeah.
They had to gussy it up for this gentleman to get it all
He
classied.
says it's O-Y-O.
O-Y-O.
Yeah.
These are sounds of celebration.
He begins October 17th. See? I knew I was close.
Nice.
I pay attention, Tommy.
Proper.
Yeah.
So for you other attention payers, I'm going to post on the website a video that's the full show, and you can see the first half.
Because I was an unscheduled guest today.
Yeah, everything was unique today. This is a very special show. I told you guys it was going to be a weird one. So thanks for partying on with the hassle. The first half, that first hour of the show, it is the first half of the show, yeah. I totally said some deep stuff that will affect your heart and your feeling about your place in the universe and the spirit of balance that you can have in your daily life to feel complete as a person. So don't miss that. With that plug, I can't just joke about feeling complete as a human being and achieving a Zen-like balance. No. And the secret might be in that other hour of the show. So stop watching this and go watch. No, just hang out for this part. It doesn't have to be in the right order. You all might be wondering, video folks, what the heck is in the upper right corner of my screen right now? Folks on that feed, I know you can't see it the same, but you can look it up. It's called the Barnacle. And again, anything that you're missing on your video feed or listening or however you're getting the situation, There is notes on greasyconversation.com, our actual document with our sources, so you know we ain't lying.
I love the Barnacle.
We love the Barnacle here today. We're here
because I'm going to tell you why this is not going to work.
Tell me what you think there's going to be a problem with the Barnacle?
Well, yeah, they think it's going to stop people from driving. I'm going to roll my window down, and I'm just going to stick my head out.
Yeah, I thought of this too, but it turns out they have also thought of this. The Barnacle is equipped with GPS, and it knows if the vehicle moves, and it sends cops all OJing after you.
Oh,
yeah,
well, that's very smart.
So they track where you end up. I don't think they hunt you right then. They wait for you to park, then they pounce.
Is there not another name like they could come up with? The Barnacle.
Well, let me describe it real quick. It's why it's called this. This thing is 2 suction cups like a big giant yellow book. You open the giant plastic yellow book and 2 suction cups hold tight to the windshield.
It's so ridiculous.
It's a hungry little Barnacle.
There's a whole bunch of names they could have come up with.
Can't
drive. Can't drive 55.
Yeah, you get a model number in it too. We got that.
So
Can't drive
stupid.
55. All right, what are some other sea creatures you could name this after? I can't think of anything better than the Barnacle. Everyone loves the Barnacle.
Why don't you just call it like the Sasquatch?
Grabby Joe.
Yeah.
Blocky Jimmy.
How about the No-Go?
The No-Go. All right.
Come on. The Barnacle, it's like so dumb. That's like a nautical term. We're nowhere near the ocean.
But it's to cheer you up when you're that. See, in Vegas, you actually get parking tickets several times before they employ a boot on you, or now the Barnacle.
But the No-Go.
The No-Go.
That's what that should be
They
called.
No-Go you. But here's the scenario we're going to be glad it's called the Barnacle.
Like, oh, shit, I've been No-Go.
I got No-Go. Yeah, man, that's good. That
sounds way better than the Barnacle.
Let's make a knockoff that just uses like several little suction cups instead of 2 big ones, so we don't have the same patent.
Or we sell the device that takes it off your window.
The Yes-Go.
The Yes-Go.
What's something that removes barnacles? It's like WD-40. Oh, it's called
Yeah.
something like that already. I don't know. How do you get barnacles off? Holler at the chat. So this thing, I imagine you're that person that's...
You could bust the windshield and then just leave the thing there on the side of the road.
Honestly, the parking fee you have that's bad enough to get the barnacle is probably less than your windshield anyway. You just get it on your car insurance.
Yeah.
Oh, they probably thought of that too, because if they have to clean up glass, and they're like, well, when we put the barnacle on you, we caught your license plate. So now that there's a pile of glass to clean up.
But if they put the boot on your car, you're not driving anywhere. So this is really kind of overkill.
I feel like it's so the traffic people don't have to kneel down and get hit and get in the road. They can just slap it on the windshield. It doesn't weigh that much. It's like yellow plastic. And, you see the barnacle and you're like, oh, I got barnacled. Oh, shucks.
Like on the other side of it, when you're in the car, it should show you what the violation is.
Yeah.
Your fee is $175.
Did you know that you can pay on an app on your phone and then the barnacle will release and you can throw it in your trunk and just go and you just promise that you drop it off?
And then it's sitting there, the no-go let you go.
No-go let you go. That was supposed to be an encouraging sound. I don't have these organized right. It was supposed to be this situation. There you go. Now you can barnacle away.
Yeah.
It makes that sound when you can debarnacle too.
So ridiculous.
So you have to really do a lot of parking violations to even get a boot in this city. So these barnacle people, they're ripe to test on. These are real scummy folks.
This is good for people that like to drive around with no license plate.
Yeah.
Because they have expired tags.
Totally, which you see all the time.
And they're like, oh, I didn't know my license plate was missing.
Oops. Must have fallen off.
Like you pull up behind one and you're like, we haven't had blue tags in 8 years.
Yeah. How is that sticker that color?
Yeah, how is that? How did he get a blue one?
Man, how do these people just magically drive where there aren't cops?
Yeah.
Like every 8th car in this city is a cop.
They always act as if they're surprised. Oh, I didn't know. Yes, you did know.
Oh man, one time I didn't know my license had an issue though because someone was legit stealing mail. This isn't the time for me to complain about people stealing my mail. But can you believe people do that?
Yes. They think there's something good in there.
Yeah. But there was. I was getting all kinds of cool knickknacks from China.
You should mail yourself poop in a really cool package and see if somebody steals it.
That is the best.
And they go, oh, shit. And it really is.
Oh, that'd be the best. Just write diamonds on the box. Chocolate truffle.
Yeah.
Finally wrap it like it's a...
Put it in a nice little
Ferrero Rocher.
Yeah. In a nice little empty box. And just these little chocolate droplets.
Shout out to Ferrero Rocher. You know, I've been practicing saying that for just this moment.
Almond Rokas. You just put some cat turds in there.
Cat turds are so distinguishable too.
Yeah, especially when they're in the kitty litter box. They look like almond rokas.
But they don't smell that much. They dry up nice.
Well, they do. So does an almond roca.
Dip them in chocolate too, so it's... Oh man, we got plans. We got some plans for this. Okay, so...
All because of the Barnacle.
I can't get over the Barnacle.
Just the name sucks. It should have more... It should be intimidating. Like the Enforcer. You know, the Barnacle is a laughable thing.
I know, it's so
It should
fun.
be called like the Enforcer, or just something that's it's gonna. You don't want to get the Enforcer. Like it should scare you.
Both halves of it should each have an angry eye on it, so it looks like your car has angry eyes when it's on there.
And they should move.
Yeah, little googly eyes.
Or they should have sad eyes, like it's because you can't go now.
No, sad eyes. It looks like your car's got
It
A's.
shouldn't be called the Barnacle. They really should have thought that out.
Having your car look like it's got 80s sunglasses. That'll be the best. Look at that USB port on it. Man, we could make this Barnacle.
Yeah.
The key switch, number pad, GPS. And look at that super difficult to use boot. That's such a pain. We need like $8,000 worth of barnacles to stop that clumsy boot situation. Look at that. I like the idea we can get people to pay and move their damn car sooner. Because, you know, it's people from like the next state over. I'm not saying Arizona, but I'm not saying Arizona. Just like leaving
could be
their
Utah.
Junk cars lying
They're the
around.
next state over too.
Yeah. I don't know. You're right in theory, but when I see like a junk car lying around or something that like barely runs well enough to cut me off on the freeway, it's not usually a Utah plate. It's usually, and I'm not saying
California.
Yeah, it's usually California. I want to rag on Arizona more, but no, I describe California for sure. We're like their garbage.
Your cars
playground.
run down just like your state.
Oh man, yeah, we're like just a garbage play place for them. This is like we're like the ball pit that kids poop in for that whole state.
Yeah. The Barnacle sounds like something California came up with.
I know.
Because they're near the ocean.
They've seen actual barnacles.
Yeah, they know what that is. It should be called the Enforcer. I'm going with that.
I like the no-go.
Yeah, the no-go's good too.
No-go, and then you get yes-go.
Yeah.
I like that there's an app involved too. Everything's turning to app time, which is like a giant step from. There was a time when I thought our DMV was like ahead of the curve. We're like online. We got the online DMV. We're one of those online government states. But now monitor resolutions have changed so much that if you go to my DMV to like renew your license or your registration, now I know there's people, you probably live somewhere where you can't do that online at all, but when we do it online, it's this narrow strip of website in the middle of the screen with like dead space on either side because it was for screens that were like a third the size. You have to like zoom in. You have to highlight parts. You have to find another browser. You have to like print it out and sign it and scan it again and all this craziness. If we just skipped right to app time, that'd probably be nice. It'd probably fit on a cell phone screen, that crazy website anyway. But no, I've tried to go on a phone and like icons are on top of each other and that whole mess. Can't scroll. It's there's no fancy rhyme for that. We need a scrolly town. If you don't live in a scrolly town, what kind of town do you live in? Anyway, I'm soapboxing. Check out this. This is the second rock that's flown through our solar system that we know didn't come from our solar system. which I didn't know this was a new thing until Oumuamua, if I'm saying it right. We reported on this in an earlier episode. You can use the search function on the Greasy Conversation website. But Oumuamua was the first thing that we knew by its trajectory and by being able to, science it up, check its color all detailed, telescope it down. Ladies, telescoping it down. We were able to find out that it wasn't like these other comets that we've grown up with. I thought like Halley's Comet and all these things that you're supposed to drink Kool-Aid and go live forever on were coming from other solar systems and stuff. But these are all just things that orbit our situation just far out and come back. This dude, this fella, which is still named like a traditional comet, even though it came from a far enough place, Borisov, also 2I/Borisov, which means like the second interstellar homeboy, and Borisov, the person that discovered it. This is only the second thing that we've been able to confirm came from somewhere else. But it turns out, now that we've got the ability to detect things like this, which I thought we would have when I was a kid. It's crazy how some space science stuff is really fresh. But this fella, I wanted to tease about what is it made of in the promo time, and thank you for sticking up this whole time, hanging out just to find out what this dang thing is made of compared to other comets.
Barnacles.
It's but let me be suspenseful. Hold on. Nope, this one. It's made of
Jello.
The same stuff as other comets. It's just ice and rock. It's like the other comets. It's just. But what's exciting about this? There is an exciting takeaway. It's not just a tease. That means more confirmation that other solar systems are similar to our own. If comets from other places in the galaxy are made of similar stuff, then that means possibly planets that are a similar distance from their sun as ours is to our sun in these habitable belts. Maybe they're made out of similar stuff. We talked about one last episode that we can tell by the light going through it and off of it that it's watery. We just don't know if it's crazy watery like Venus or if it's like okay watery like our place. Like there's still some places to sit your ass down that are less wet. And then who knows if the water's like
less wet,
bleachy or methane or who knows. But it's exciting. It's exciting space time. There's all kinds of space stuff going on. We want to keep you in the space loop. There's a cool simulation we're looking at. It just buzzes past. It was about as far away from us as we are from the sun. So that's 8 light minutes. If you guys didn't already know, fun fact, light minutes, 8 of them. So if the sun blew up right now, it'd be 8 minutes before we actually knew that was going on. And then 8 seconds to the moon. And there's this weird thing that happened where the moon and the sun are proportionate in size to their distance from us. And that's why we get eclipses where we just have that tiny hair around the moon. It's just barely smaller than what the sun looks like to us. Weird, suspicious coincidence time. But, there's a lot of situations out there that are weird that we're still discovering. Just barely starting to find other planetoids at all. So who knows? They might all have a chunk lining up that way. Things find a balance. Some things end up a certain way because that's the balanced way. This number 8 might be significant in all this balancing going on. Anyhow, I've killed that word. The B word. That's like the theme of the episode is like balance time. But speaking of themes, now this is a shorter one. Don't run off because I saved the juiciest ones for the end. But this is the last session we have together of paying some Bob Thorntons. Hang out and stick around. This one's my favorite. It's non-staining, tastes great, and there's been actual studies that show when you see semen splashed around, yes, I mean male reproductive juices. When you see semen around in a situation that you're intending to be erotic, men tend to orgasm sooner when they see that someone has already done that around. So if you have a lubricant that resembles semen, it's going to inspire you to produce more of your own sooner.
You come up with that?
It's serious study time. There's science behind this product, and I support it with this research. Hella research. Like, seriously, hella research.
Let's face it, every once in a while, we all need a little help. A call to the bullpen. Well, ladies and gentlemen, have I got a product for you. Rick Knucklecock here to tell you about an exciting new product called Spunk Lube. Yes, Spunk Lube, the all-water soluble lubricant that'll help you perform in the bedroom. Yes, Spunk Lube. You can use it to loosen pickle jars. Play a game of Hide the Pickle. Hide the Pickle. Use it to grease your ball bearings. Do you have a squeaky back door? Squeaky door. Need to glaze a ham? Or how about frost a donut? Frosted donut. Yes, Spunk Lube. And boy, do I have an offer for you. If you call now and mention RadioVegas.rocks and order 3 jars of Spunk Lube, you get 2 for free. They often say 2's a crowd, but 3's a party. Spunk Lube. Visit us at spunklube.com.
Do you want to pay more for a new car or new home or less? Yeah! Do you want to pay higher interest rates on your credit cards or even to refinance student loan debt or less? Yeah! The secret to paying less on everything is a better credit score. Is your credit score less than 700? Do you even know? Well, now at the same time, you can learn exactly what your credit score is and learn how to make it better. And when you call our special credit repair hotline, you'll speak to an expert that will tell you simple steps to start improving your credit score. And the call and consultation are F-R-E-E. That's free. I'm telling you, the secret to paying less is a better credit score, and you can fix it right now. So please make this free call and change your life.
877-857-1658. 877-857-1658. That's 877-857-1658.
It's time for 2 clueless dudes.
If you are interested in getting the nacho box, the new nacho box
from Taco Bell.
From Taco Bell in Las Vegas.
In the entire valley.
You are SOL.
Here's why. There was a commercial plane that crash landed into the warehouse in California.
Aw.
I don't know if California's affected.
Taking out all of their nachos. All their tortilla chips.
No, seriously.
Yeah. It like took out all of on the Western Hemisphere.
So
all tortilla chips caught fire.
And
there's apparently a corn shortage.
Yeah, now the valley is also short on corn.
For 2 clueless dudes.
Every Friday at 7 p.m. on RadioVegas.rocks.
Be sure to get your mix of music. Listen to us with the RadioVegas.rocks app available at the App Store. And check out our VIP card, interact with us in our chat room, and scheduling of our RadioVegas.rocks shows. Plus, podcasts. It's all available on RadioVegas.rocks app.
Behold, it's Greasy Conversation. We're back. Jay's here from the Rock and Comedy Show, and we are...
It's the weirdest.
Excuse me. Yeah, we are dealing with internal struggles and external alike and trucking along. The moral is to truck. And I have to skip to the funniest thing that got neglected last episode. Have you seen this emotional support shoe yet?
No.
Check out this product, ladies and gentlemen. For the audio folks, I'll describe it. It's a shoe in a bag, just a single child's shoe. And the top shows a child snuggling the shoe, rubbing the shoe on her face for emotional support. And it says, "I'm love mine shoe." And it says it clams and soothes. And
it says what?
It clams and soothes.
Clams and soothes.
Yeah. It doesn't have the crispest English. And this was found, this is in a post in a forum on Facebook for thrift store finds. This was another killer find by Ange Kerfoot, Holla, and I did a little diving on this product here. At first, we were like, where did you find this gender-neutral emotional support shoe? It clearly...
Does it say gender neutral?
No, it says gender natural.
Oh. Gender natural.
Also, the kid has a crisp unibrow. Like, the kid has a clearly added later on.
Which is why they need the emotional support shoe. Because of that unibrow.
Just beyond you, like, thorough unibrow.
One brow, one shoe. That's all there is to it.
Emotional support shaver. So I found a little.
Did you have one lace?
Do you have single shoes with more than one lace on them? Because that's ballin'. Do you remember when that was a thing? You'd have like 2 or 3 shoelaces on each shoe.
No, I don't remember that being a thing.
Oh, if you were American hard enough.
American.
Yeah.
I wear slip-ons because I'm fat and lazy. I don't want to bend over to tie my shoes.
That sounds European.
Well, whatever it is.
Gets the job done.
It's comfortable and I like it.
I like your slippies though. They look like Star Trek-y because the strappy parts go diagonally, like you're ready for another like an alien world to be beamed down on it, and also not have to work hard to put your shoes on.
Wow, you've really studied my shoes.
Looked at them so good. Yeah. I'm jelly.
It's almost kind of creepy.
I want shoes like that.
You want my emotional support shoe?
It's the footwear of kings. Of all things to emulate from you.
The footwear of kings. We'll show my old ass shoe up there. Fit for a king. Made for a joker.
This king's done a lot of walking around. This king's beat this shit up. The king can't afford like a fresh pair.
The king should think about getting a horse.
So I found the logo in the corner of this and decided to look into it. And I found out that I found a site. The company is called Obvious Plant. It's not a real company. It's this guy. Yeah. Well, I was wondering, is this a product that there's multiple of, or did someone just make this bespoke unit just to plant it? And the name says it all, Obvious Plant. It's supposed to be Obvious Plants, and it's this person's art project, but also they sold them, and there's a ton of these. Check it out. This one's, they're all like a plastic figurine with hilarious marketing. This one's called New Daughter. Finally, a good one.
Wait, new daughter?
New daughter. Finally, a good one. Successful, calls often, not worried or embarrassing in any way. Oh, there's multiple versions. New son. Successful, calls often. Okay. It's just different views of the same. So these were for sale for a second. I don't know if they made more than one.
We have to find out if you can get them.
Right? So as far as the
Birthday
website...
snakes.
Birthday snakes. These all say sold out, but the links in the news notes I've been telling you about.
These all need to be prizes on the Rock and Comedy Show.
There's 2 birthday snakes that look the same, and you're supposed to treat them differently. On the left, hug this one, feed some chips, maybe a kiss. On the right, hate this one, deserves ridicule, throw in trash. So the 2 birthday snakes have entirely different lives you're supposed to give them. Wow, more toys should have that. Funeral kazoo. So there's a guy with his head in his hands and a kazoo.
Because that's what I'm thinking about at a funeral.
Drowns out sobs and wails. Better than bagpipes. Oh, this is killer. Weird dogs. And it's a bunch of horses. Weird dogs. Plastic horses. This is just a frog that says, I hate you this much. Wow, you suck. Please go away. And it's just arms are out. All right, this is killer stuff.
I need this link.
Highly. Stupidest animals. And it's a penguin. Looks stupid, can't fly. Is shaped like an egg.
You have to be able to buy these.
Yeah. I mean, I think these are bespoke. Because see, they're all sold out.
Can't be.
Revengers. Fashion rats. So here's Revengers Nighty Night. It's just repackaged like night toy. Endless tussle. They tussle. We have to look at these fashion rats though. Yes. It's this gnarly rat crammed in this box with like pink scissors and a comb and stuff. Oh, look, it's got pink lipstick on. Make me beautiful. Do a makeup. Paint her nails. The teeth, though. Oh, man. Sewer beauty. Fashion rats.
Sewer beauty. Wow.
All right, so check that out. That's a bonus feature at the bottom of the news. Obvious plant. Oh, there's video games, too. This is a Super Nintendo game called Moon Humper. I want to hump the moon.
Bill Dawes.
Yeah, moon. Oh, man. Crap planet. The Ninja Turtles escape this crap planet. Ah, I remember that Space Ninja Turtle. Anyhow, highly, highly worth checking out.
Emotional support shoe.
That's the best one. And spookily enough, that mysterious shoe isn't on the website anywhere. I can't find any online record. So this person made so many of these bespoke products and planted them that they left ones to just get found and get in social media in the universe without even putting them on the web themselves. So we might be one of the only broadcasters that have ever spoken about the emotional support shoe. This is an exclusive, you guys. Tell your friends exclusive things happen here. All right. We've got... Oh, okay. Greg, in his infinite journalism, has another fun question for us to dig around in ourselves. You can play along at home. Maybe this is an ongoing question over multiple episodes, but what was the worst song/band for you during high school? Or one that you can't believe you listened to? And Limp Bizkit is cheating.
And so's Nickelback.
Yeah.
They were not around while I was in high school.
They were. Nickelback broke when I was in high school, but it started with Leader of Men, and that wasn't a break for the rest of the nation.
And when did you graduate?
I graduated in 2001.
See, they were not for me.
No, but here's the trick. Leader of Men, if you're not familiar with that particular Nickelback song, it's actually really good, and it has a 2-part harmony, the whole song, which I thought was really unique. Oh, this is like a grunge band and stuff, but there's 2 singers, and they're harmonizing the whole time. Fun. It was a great song, but every song since was a disappointment. And that kind of doesn't happen a lot outside of California, I'm finding. There's times when they'll kind of test a single over there on a coast, and then the second single will be the one that really breaks. I don't remember what Nickelback's second single was, but it was just, I'll say, less than captivating.
You've already spoke way too much about Nickelback.
But they got that one great song. You guys check it out, Leader of Men. Media recommendation.
It's not a great song.
They probably don't even play it anymore. They probably forsook it. The other guy that sang in it probably died, and they probably...
For me, I'd have to probably say Sugar Ray.
I still like Sugar Ray, though.
But they were annoying to me back then.
Oh, I gotcha. That's a good way to look at this. Because there's things that we couldn't stand then that might have had some redemption. I think Sugar Ray is a perfect example of something that, like, the songs are awful when you hear them a ton of times, but if it's been a few months, it's like, all right. There's a halo hanging from the corner of my girlfriend's 4-post bed. Okay, that's a good one. I'm going to do the other version of this challenge. I always, from the beginning, could not understand Godsmack. It seems like all the guitar riffs are just...
They weren't around when I was in high school.
One chord rhythmically going to the drums. Like the drummer could play the drum line on the guitar and it would be the same song. You could just hit the guitar with a stick and get a similar like music situation happening. Fight me on this, Godsmackers.
Fight me.
Yeah.
Fight me.
Challenge it. Anyway, that's a challenge you can play at home. I'm trying to find the chat. Who got... Boom. All right. Hey, what's up, Buck? They have shirts that hug dogs, too. Shirts that hug dogs. Oh, I think he might have been talking about over on our website over here. There's other products up in here.
Yeah.
There's a shirt that hugs a dog. Whoa. Sneepy. Okay, this shirt is Snoopy and Charlie Brown mixed together, and the face has a nose on the side of the other nose. Snappy. Oh, man. This artist is awesome. Definitely check out Jordan. Bootleg Michael Jordan shirt. Oh, wait. I keep coming back to that one. This is great. I thought we were going to have some more band hate in the chat, but that can wait. We're not here to harbor hate anyway. All right. There's an awesome napkin math about homeless and how we spend more money on homeless people than it would cost if we just put them in houses with food. Like more than, by some estimates, we're spending more on homeless each person.
We put them in old hotels that they're, instead of blowing them up, fix the hotels up to make them homeless shelters, and they have to, so they can get themselves back in the system. They have a place to live. They have 3 months to get a job, get work, and then they have to start paying rent to stay there. They get 3 months of free rent, get a job, clean yourself up.
There can be placeholder work like there is for people with intellectual disabilities that get on the system. They get job placement help, and that job placement help is available.
I mean, if you think about it,
it's hard to get going.
Circus is already a homeless shelter.
Yeah, it's halfway there.
It's halfway there.
This would solve that other problem I've been wrestling with, is what to do with Circus.
Make it a homeless shelter.
Oh man, can we do that with Excalibur too?
Yes.
Thank you so much for finding the spin on this.
And the Rio, since they just sold it. We'll just turn that into a homeless shelter.
Perfect. We've got plenty to fill it all.
There's enough homeless. That will take care of the homeless in Vegas. Those 3 hotels.
Yeah, and this city is such a trap for that. And there's such an inclination to just blame the people, but when you get past a certain point, it's hard to dig yourself out of it.
But there has to be a level of why, if they're homeless for certain reasons. If you're homeless because you're an idiot and you're a drug addict and this and that, we're not going to take care of you.
Well, that's where the counseling and stuff comes in.
Well, but they still can't have a house. They can't have a free place to live.
If you're a chronic
but
squanderer,
if you lost your job because the place closed or something, and you're legitimately trying.
Well, yeah, and a lot of people that are drug addicts have other mental disabilities that they're self-treating that way, and things that could get counseled.
Not like these 2 homeless people that were by Walmart the other day, sitting in lawn chairs with a cooler with their sign propped up next to them that says, "Can you help us?"
That reminds me of the kind of people that Vegas attracts sometimes. There are people that are like career homeless that just think this would be a great city to like mooch at. And it's sometimes I get really mad at someone coming here to take advantage of things like this that then like squander resources that are for people that are really down and out. So that's like a whole nother argument. But I really feel like even if someone was just like intentionally hopeless, if we at least put them in a place where they don't get street diseases, it'd cost less in emergency room visits that person would need to keep them to shovel them up and keep them alive than it would for what like a small apartment would cost just to keep the sun off of them. Someone comes by and flips them over now and again, and that kind of taking care of people that right now are just like festering and letting like the disease situation, like where plague is coming back in LA and stuff like that. It was like, oh, you give these people like a shower and a place to sleep, even if they're going to do everything else wrong, at least save emergency room time. Anyhow, the math is crazy on it. It's like more than I make a year. You could just like take what I make a year plus 10 or 20%, and that's what it's costing per capita because of the extreme medical things just waiting for people to get to the very end. So that was a rant that Greg wanted to toss in here that we played around with a little bit, and some linkage on some stuff that backs that up if you don't know any kind of fact time behind that. But we're in the tail end now. I'm just doing a little skim about what other fun stuff. There's always extra stuff left in the notes to check out that we neglect. So again, highly recommend that part of the journalism. Wow, I didn't know that the person that created the Labradoodle is really regretful about it. Apparently, this person says they opened a Pandora's box and released a Frankenstein monster about the Labradoodle. Or Labradoodles, I mean, I know you got to cut the fur out of the eyes. That's an issue. Man, it's just one of his greatest life regrets. Oh, man, thanks, New York Times. It's just a tease. Like, I think I'd have to subscribe to tell you any more about it's just that. Okay, let's find another news article another time to figure out why this Labradoodle dude's so worried about it. What's the Labradoodle controversy? Anyway, Join the chat on that. That's
Yeah.
more. We've got more questions than answers with that. Did you know that some turmeric is laced with lead to make it more yellow? Man, so if you're buying that shady turmeric, I don't know if you go to a reputable dealer, if you go to the black market for your turmeric, but I tend to just trust any dude on the street that says he's got extra turmeric lying around.
Yeah.
I want that good turmeric deal, and it turns out I might have been eating lead to make it more yellow, because I'm on that turmeric tip. Don't even. Okay, talked about the Barnacle. Not enough we can say about the Barnacle. Celebs that look like one another. Anyhow, well, I guess it's time to just close it out with some pictures of lead and turmeric and ask you what your favorite thing you've ever made with your turmeric is.
I've never used turmeric, so I'm good.
You've never just like woken up one morning and thought, man, this is...
I got a hankering.
It's Turmeric Tuesday.
Yeah. No, I think I'm good on that.
Do you say turmeric or do you say turmeric? Because apparently, although it's spelled turmeric, both pronunciations are correct.
Right.
Yeah. I love... You're right behind me on that. No argument there. I've looked into this too, and both are approved. So that's the thing I want you to take away from you guys. Sometimes both ways of saying a thing is okay. So
There's no need to fight.
yeah, stop fighting. Stop.
Just get along.
Yeah, no need to get barnacled. Be good. Don't leave your junk cars lying around, and we won't barnacle them down. There's going to be just cars with barnacles littering certain parking lots. It's not going to make them go away. It's going to be upside down ones. Yeah, if the car's not right side up, you don't have to put anything on it. It's already immobilized. Which I've seen driving around. Sometimes someone crashes a car. They don't tell anybody. They just leave the car in the middle of the road just to get discovered later. So there'll be these like rogue hulking masses in the middle of these dark desert roads sometimes. Just like, oh, it's an extra car there. Someone left. Anyhow, all right. I had a good time regardless of everything that I put you all through.
This is a very tricky way to get me to co-host.
Yeah. It's good. It worked out.
Tonight, 11 o'clock.
Don't miss it.
Red Rock Casino.
The reddest of rocks.
Our karaoke finalists from the Zoe Boy karaoke contest on the Rock and Comedy Show.
The best in town.
Take the stage at the Zoe Bowie show.
Take it.
To perform their song. I do not know what song they are performing, but it is Natalie and Megan up there tonight performing.
If
So
you've been
come on down
following-
and party with the Rock and Comedy Show.
It's the culmination of
It's
karaoke.
a free show.
Yeah.
It's a free show.
It's
a
free.
good time. And Zoe Boy always puts on a good time.
Every time there's fascination and wonder.
Yeah.
Captivation.
It's a good time. Thursday. We can't forget about Thursday, October 3rd.
We have the craziest remote Thursday. Everyone's got to pop in. It could be our liveliest remote yet.
From 2 to 4 p.m., Golden Tiki, which is good any time of the day.
Yeah, if you haven't been there, there's robot birds that are from Disneyland. There's a whole tiki situation
The
like no
Phallus
other.
Palace in the girls' bathroom.
Boys can sneak in too.
Yeah, because you can go on the tour. You hit the button and the guy gives you a little guide of all the penises that are in there.
There's barrels with fire in them.
Yeah, it's amazing. But Todd Newton is the host with the most, and that's the name of his podcast. He's been with Radio Vegas almost 3 years, and he's doing his first ever live remote for us. His show's normally 30 minutes, but he's going to do 2 hours. And he's got celebrity guests coming down, and he's making it a listener appreciation party, so there's going to be gifts and prizes to win. And he asked me to co-host, so I think that's pretty cool.
Hell, that tiki place, Golden Tiki, is just the most thorough tiki adventure I've ever stepped foot in.
3939 Spring Mountain Road.
Spring Mountain. That's where it happens. And with that, I have to grudgingly release you all from my clutches.
Goodbye.
Tell the others. Tell your family. And mention it to strangers.
Rock and Comedy Show.
At the bank. Rock and Comedy Show throughout the week. Mondays, Tuesday, Wednesday, 6, 3, and 3 in that order. But check out the schedule page and check out the YouTube. I mentioned Radio Vegas Rocks, all one word, on YouTube. Great place to see this whole episode. And toss a subscribe. Holla a sub. Hook it up. punch the bell. Punch the bell in its bell face. That's it. Bye.